Which you can start.
Purāṇānaṁ ālayam karuṇālayam namāmi bhagavadpāda Shankaram lokashankaram sadāṣivasamārambhāṁ Shankarācārya madhyamāṁ asmadācārya paryantāṁ Vande guru paraṁparāṁ Vasudeva sutam devam kamsacāణūramardhanam Devaki paramānandam Krishnam vande jagadgurum. With the abundant blessings of our Acharya Swamiji, we are continuing with our study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita with emphasis on Adi Shankara's commentary. We are on chapter 7, Jnana Vijnana Yoga, the yoga of knowledge and realization, self-experience. Now, Bhagavan started teaching us Jnana part, saying that the entire creation is out of his Maya Shakti, Prakriti, which is eightfold. Sthula part, 5 elements, and Sukshma part, Mano Buddhir Ahankara. He said all that. Then he made a distinction that this is all over Prakriti and there is something called higher Prakriti, which is the Jiva, which is nothing but Paramatma, but associates itself with the body. Through that wrong superimposition, it is being called Jiva. So he said, this entire creation is comprising of 3 gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. And he made a statement which looks like a riddle in sloka number 12. Natvaham teshu te mayi. These 3 gunas are in me. I am not in them. That means they are under my control and they don't control me. Then he is continuing to talk about those 3 gunas. Tribhir gunamayair bhavaihi yebhir sarvamidam jagat mohitam nadhijanati amebhya paramavyayam. Sarvam idam jagat. This entire jagat, whatever you see around you, whatever you don't see around you, like these 14 worlds, 7 worlds up and 7 worlds down, all of it, sarvamidam jagat. Tribhir gunamayair bhavaihi, yebhihi tribhir gunamayahi bhavaihi. Whatever I have mentioned in the last shloka, yebhihi, these 3 gunas, the gunamayahi, that means there is nothing other than these 3. That is why he is using the term gunamaya. Gunamaya means it consists only of guna, nothing else. So these 3 gunas pervade this entire creation. There is nothing other than that, sattva, rajas and tamas. So, because you get entangled in this world, which consists of these 3 gunas, mohitam nadhijanati mamebhya paramavyayam. Yebhya param avyayam mam na abhijanati mohitam. Mohitam tribhir gunamayair bhavaihi. Because one is deluded because of these jagat, which consists of these 3 gunas, the delusion prevents him from recognizing me as the superior force. Ebhyaha param, superior to all these 3 gunas. Mam, me, that is Paramatma. Avyayam, I don't undergo any change, whereas this creation keeps undergoing change every second. Whereas there is no change, there is no decay, there is no vikara. Janmadi sarvabhava vikara varjitam avyayam. We have shad vikaras in our case, starting from birth up to death, being a child, growing up, etc., etc. These are called shad vikaras, 6 vikaras. Does Bhagavan have that? Paramatma have that? No. Janmadi sarva bhava vikara varjitam. Starting with janma, birth. These vikaras are absent in him. That is why he is avyayam. Ebhyaha param. I am different and I am superior to these three gunas. Vetiriktam vilakshanam. I am different and I have a different characteristic. Vilakshanam. Tribhir bhavaihi gunavikaraihi ragadvesha mohadi prakaraihi bhavaihi padarthaihi. These gunas express themselves in the form of raga, dvesha, moha, etc. Attachment, hatred, delusion, etc. These are the expressions of these three gunas. We have seen it before also. So, these emotions rule the person's behavior, person's thinking. In the process, he forgets. Na abhijanati means he doesn't recognize, he doesn't cognize that I am there. I am the author of these emotions, I am behind these emotions, I am behind everything. He doesn't realize that. He may be knowing it from books, but he doesn't realize that. That is what now he is slowly coming to the Vijnana part. Jnana he has taught us. Now he is saying the Vijnana is not there because of the delusion people undergo. Adi Shankara makes a very telling comment here in this shloka. He says, Mam na abhijanati is a statement born out of compassion. He says, Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swabhavam Nirgunam Samsara Dosha Bija Pradaha Karanam Mam na Abhijanati Jagat Iti Anuprosham Darshayati Bhagavan. Anuprosham, compassion. He is showing compassion. In what way? I am Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swabhava. This is a constant phrase which you will find while describing Bhagavan or Jnanis. Ever pure, ever having chit, consciousness, knowledge. That means there is no time when they lose consciousness of Paramatma. That is what we are not talking about. Mohitam Nabhijana. We are always forgetting Paramatma. They are always remembering Paramatma. Nitya Suddha Buddha. Mukta. They are ever free. They never get entangled in Jagat. Nitya Suddha Buddha Mukta Swabhavam. That is their nature. That is Bhagavan's nature. Nirgunam. He is beyond all these three gunas. He is free from gunas. Samsara dosha bija pradaha karanam. I am the one who is the seed for this dosha called samsara. This defect, he is calling it as dosha. This what we are taking pleasure in this world around us. He is calling it as dosha right from beginning. Because unless you recognize dosha, you cannot develop detachment. So you have to recognize the first step is to recognize it as dosha. So samsara, dosha, bija. He is the seed of this dosha. He is also pradaha karanam. He is the one who is going to burn away that seed. Once the seed is burned, it will not bear any further fruit. So samsara will completely disappear. That is why burning of seed is always mentioned in Vedanta. The seed has to be burned. So, Bija pradaha karanam mam na abhijanati. They don't recognize me. It is very unfortunate. He is showing compassion. If they come to me, they will rise above the three gunas, they will rise above samsara, and they will also become like me. Nitya Suddha Buddha Mukta Swabha. So that is the message he is giving us here in this shloka. So slowly we are traveling into the Vijnana part. त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर्भावैः येभिः सर्वविदं जगत् मोहितं नाभिजानाति मामेभ्यः परमव्ययम् दैवी ह्येषा गुणमयी मम माया दुरत्यया मामेव ये प्रपद्यन्ते मायामेतां तरन्ति ते. Very, very famous, celebrated shloka which is oft quoted during discussions on Vedanta. He is using the term Maya, I think, for the first time. He was always talking about Prakriti, etc., etc. In order to relate creation to his nature. His second nature is creation. That is why he was using the term Prakriti. But now all this Prakriti business is associated with his power, which is called Maya. So he is saying, Yesha Mama Maya Gunamayi Daivi Duratyaya. Daivi Gunamayi Duratyaya. Three adjectives, three qualifications qualify this Maya. Mama Maya, this Maya is my power. Nobody else is having this power. It is under my control. Yesha, this Maya, what we have been talking about, Gunamayi, etc., etc. This is Gunamayi. This consists of only these three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Daivi, it is divine because it originates from Bhagavan. The origin is Bhagavan, so it is Daivi. It is not ordinary Maya, man-made Maya. It is like magic. Magician also creates Maya temporarily for 5 minutes. This is not that type of Maya. It takes you crores of janmas to come out of this Maya. So it is an everlasting Maya. It has no beginning, no end. Anadi, Ananta, this Maya also. That is why it is Duratyaya, difficult to cross. For ordinary people, he accepts. Bhagavan accepts that this Maya is difficult to cross because it is divine in nature and it is consisting of only these three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas, which pervade the entire creation and makes the entire creation attractive to the human being. Then what is the method of coming out of this? Is there a way of coming out of this? He is teaching us in the same sloka. Mame vaye prapadyante mayamekam tarantite ye mameva prapadyante. Those who take refuge only in me, mam eva. That means you don't take refuge in the world and Bhagavan at the same time, which is what people do generally. We take refuge in our worldly association, maybe our immediate relations, maybe the wealth we have, maybe the house we have, maybe the friends we have. We take refuge in them. Refuge means we take help from them. We depend on them. So dependence on world and dependence on Bhagavan, if both are continuing simultaneously, that is not mamevaya prapatyante. Dependence on the world should be reduced. Dependence on Bhagavan should be increased. So this is how you should cross Maya. So he is teaching us the process of Vijnana. Mameva ye prapadyante. Prapatti means Sharanagati. Vaishnavas are known for Prapatti theory because this theory of Prapatti they have expanded into a philosophy. They say that all this Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga business is okay, but all that is contained in Sharanagati. Yes, it is true. But Advaita does not emphasize Sharanagati only. It emphasizes, no doubt. Bhagavan himself is mentioning. Because it is difficult. It is easy to say, take refuge only in me, take your attention off samsara. It is difficult to say. For that, you have to give some methods. Those methods are Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, etc. But the end is Sharanagati only, no doubt about it. Whatever name you give it, whether it is Sharanagati, whether it is constant meditation of Bhagavan, etc., all are same. So he says, those who end up in me alone as refuge, they will cross this Maya. He is giving an assurance. Etam Mayam te taranti. This difficult to cross Maya, Duratyaya Maya. This difficult to cross Maya, they cross. Te taranti. Adi Shankara says, Tatra evam sati sarvadharman parityajya mameva mayavinam swatmabhutam sarvatmana e prapadyante. How should prapatti be done? Sarvadharman parityajya. The last teaching of Bhagavan, 18th chapter, it is coming. Sarvadharman parityajya. Mamekam sharanam braja. So he is bringing our attention to that right at this stage. That means Sarva dharma does not mean you drop your dharmas. No, it doesn't mean. It means your refuge. You can do all your activities. Don't think that is your refuge. So he says, leaving aside all those refuges, Mameva Mayavinam Swatmabhutam Sarvatmana Ye Prapadyante. I am the Mayavi. I am the one who controls that Maya. There is a Veda mantra in Shvetashvatara Upanishad, very famous. Mayam cha prakritim vidyat mayinam tu maheshwaram. This prakriti is Maya. Whatever you see around you is Maya. And if there is a Maya, there has to be Mayavi, one who controls. Mayinam tu maheshwaram. Maheshwara is that Mayavi. So here also he is saying that. Mameva Mayavinam Swatma Bhutam. Okay, that Mayavi is somewhere else, crores of miles away from us. Then how to take refuge in him? No, Swatma Bhutam. He is there right in your body. In your body, he is your Atma. Yesterday there was a question on Jivatma and Paramatma. That is clarified. I am that Jivatma. You are calling us Jivatma. Swatma Bhutam. Sarvatmana ye prapadyante. Don't think that the Atma is confined only to you. It is there everywhere, all over, all around you. Sarvatmana. Sarvatmana means he is the Atma of everything around you. And he is also Atma of yourselves. So if you understand this, and if you take refuge in me with this thought, ye prapadyante, te mayam yetam sarvabhuta mohinim taranti atikramanti. Here Shankara qualifies this Maya as Sarvabhuta Mohinim because he said, isn't it? Mohitam Nabhijanati, he said. So that is why he said, Sarvabhuta Mohinim. It is deluding all living beings. Nobody is exception to that, including Devas. Devas also get deluded. That is why they don't get moksha, they are reborn. Because they are deluded because of the pleasures around them. We are deluded even with dukkha around us, even then. A little bit pleasure here and there is enough to delude us. Whereas devas are surrounded by pleasures only. So why will they not get deluded? So, Sarvabhuta Mohini, te, te taranti, te samsara bandhanat muchyante. Taranti means what? Mayam taranti. Means they cross Maya, means what? They get rid of this bondage of samsara. They are clarifying that. दैवी ह्येषा गुणमयी मम माया दुरत्यया मामेव ये प्रपद्यन्ते मायामेतां तरन्ति ते न मां दुष्कृतिनो मूढाः प्रपद्यन्ते नराधमाः माययापहृतज्ञान असुरं भावमाश्रिताः. Now what is preventing us from this prapatti, this sharanagati? What is preventing us? What is preventing us is our own karma. Dushkritinaha. Dushkritinaha means papi, papa. Dushkrita is papa, sukrita is punya. Papa and punya everybody understands. So Dushkrita is papa, Dushkriti is papi. Because of your papa accumulated over several janmas, mudhaha, you are foolish, you are confused. Both meanings apply to the term mudha. Mudha is a man who is foolish as well as who is confused. He doesn't know what he is doing. Nara Adhamaha, those who are the worst among humans. Now he is calling all of us as Nara Adhamaha, Nara Adhamaha, Narottamaha, Nara Madhyamaha. No, we don't come into that category. Nara Adhamaha, the worst among humans, because of the Dushkrita which is on their account, because of the Papa on their account, Mudhaha, they are foolish and they are confused. Mam na prapadyante. That is why they don't take refuge in me. They take refuge in the world around them. Mayaya apahrita jnana asuram bhavamashritaha. He makes it even more clear now. Mayaya apahrita jnana. Yes, they have jnana. All, most humans know that there is a Paramatma, there is a Bhagavan who is running the show. Yeah, most of the people know it. It must be a very rare person who doesn't know. Jnana they possess. But why they are not using the jnana? Mayaya apahrita jnana. Jnana is being stolen from them by Maya. That means what Maya takes the jnana away from them. So they are always rid of the jnana, though they possess. That is Maya. Asuram bhavam ashritaha. Not only they get rid of that jnana because of the force of Maya, at least are they neutral? No. Asuram bhavam ashritaha. They take refuge in Asuram bhavam, asura bhava. Asura bhava is ever engaging in violence. That is asura bhava. Troubling others, causing misery to others. That is asura bhava in essence. It can be described in many ways. Bhagavan himself is going to describe it in another chapter. Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. There he is allotting more slokas to Asura Bhava than Devi Bhava. He is describing both. Devi Bhava only 5-6 slokas. Asura Bhava 10-15 slokas. So we will get into that at that point in a greater detail. But Asura Bhava essentially is trying to trouble others, causing misery to others because he doesn't recognize that others are also manifestation of the same Paramatma. Sarvatmana, he said, na? Shankara said just now. Satma Bhutam Sarvatmana E Prapatyante, he said. So that he fails to recognize, so he believes in causing violence to creation. Violence to creation. That is the Asuramba. So Ashritaha, they take refuge in that, they resort to that. They resort to Asura Bhava, so they have lost their jnana because of the force of Maya. So they are Naradhamaka, they are worst among human beings. And they are confused. And they are driven by their papa to do all this. And they don't take refuge in me. Himsa Drita Lakshanam Asuram Bhav. Himsa Andrita, that is falsehood and violence. Violence and falsehood. Truth and non-violence. Satyam and Ahimsa are the hallmarks of a Sattva Bhava. Truth and non-violence are the hallmarks of Sattva Bhava. Whereas this fellow is in Asura Bhava, which is Tamasa Bhava, which is Himsa Anritadi Lakshanam, violence and falsehood. Now, Mayaya Apahrita Jnanaha Asuram Bhavam Ashritaha. Mayaya Apahrita Jnanaha refers to the Avarana Shakti of Maya, the concealing power of Maya. Because of the concealing power of Maya, they lose sight of Bhagavan. Then they get distracted. That is Maya Vikshepa Shakti, the distracting power of Maya. We saw there are two powers for Maya. One is to conceal, another is to distract. Concealing of Paramatma is Apahrita Jnanaha. The distraction which it causes so that you get distracted towards the world is Asuram Bhavam Ashritaha. Now, on this, a lot of explanation has been given because Asuram Bhavam has come here. A lot of people have explained in many ways. In this context, we can recollect what Charvaka says. Charvaka was an intellectual. He had propounded his own theory. What theory? Gnostica theory. There is nothing like God. There is nothing like Veda. All this is false. Whatever you see around you is the only truth. This was Charvaka, materialistic theory. So that theory, that is the theory which these people, Asuram Bhavam Ashritaha, believe in. They may not say so, but their conduct shows that. So Charvaka says, of course, he made it into a theory. So what he said, his theory is contained in this shloka. Yavad jivet sukham jivet, vritam kritva vritam pibet. He made it very simple. As long as you live with pleasure. Pleasure is your aim. Rinam kritva vritam pibet. Even by taking loan, consume ghee. This is what he says. Because ghee is supposed to be a source of pleasure for the tongue. So, If you don't have money, take loan and enjoy ghee. Enjoying ghee is enjoying pleasure. That is what the present day world is doing, isn't it? There's no end to the pleasures that are available and that are haunting the present population. And they go on taking loans. So what Charvaka says is being practiced, though we may not accept it. Charvaka was no philosopher who was only talking about theory. In fact, that is being practiced. Now, I'll go to Niti Shatakam because this Asuram Bhavam is being nicely brought out. There is a mistake in what the uh, screen shows. That is not the shloka. You take it off. जातिर्यातुरसातलं गुणगणस्तस्याप्यथो गच्छताम् शीलं शैलतटात् पतत्वभिजनः सन्दक्ष्यतां बन्धिना शौर्ये वैरिणि वज्रमासु निपतत्वर्थोऽस्तु न केवलम् येनैकेन विना गुणस्तृणलवप्रायाः समस्ता इमे. This is what an asuram bhavam person thinks about wealth. This is that sloka. How wealth is the only consideration for a person who resorts to Asuram Bhava. His thought process goes like this. The entire sloka is only on that. Jatirya rasatalam. Let my jati, let my group go to rasatala, patala. I don't care. I don't care for my jati. Gunagana tasyapyatho gachadam. Okay, you are going to talk about gunas, virtues, etc. No virtues. I don't care. Let them go to tasyapi adho. Even below Rasatala, further Patala, because this nether worlds, there are 7. Atala, Vetala, Sutala, Rasatala, Talatala, Mahatala, Patala. Patala is the lowest. First we mentioned Rasatala, now he is talking about Patala. That means what? Let it go anywhere, I don't care. Sheelam, Shaila, Tatat, Patatu. Okay, you are now going to talk about good conquer, Sheelam. Shaila Tatat, Patatu, let it fall down from the top of the mountain. I don't care. Abhijana Sandhyatam Bandhinam. You are going to talk about people around me, my relatives, my friends. Let them go to hell. Sandhyatam Bandhina. Let them be burnt in fire. I don't care. Shaurye Vairini Vajramasu Nipatate. Vairini Shaurye. If there is an enemy who is threatening us as a group, our duty is to fight that enemy. We saw that recently. Our duty is to fight an enemy who is threatening us as a group, isn't it? So that let that shaurya, let that courage, let that valor, vajramasa ripatate, let it fall down as if it has been hit by vajrayudha. Let the shaurya fall down. That means I will not bother about enemy. Then why I am doing all this? Why I am taking that? What is my intention? Arthostu na kevalam. I am interested only in artha. Artha means wealth. Yenekena vina gunaha trinalava samastayame. Yenekena vina. Without the single point, which is wealth, all these gunas which you talked about in the previous stanza, Yatir, etc., etc. Guna, Trinalava Prayama, they are all like a piece of grass, a stump of grass. All this is grass in front of that Artha, that is well. Samasta, all this, Samasta, all these gunas, I don't care. There is another sloka which is being quoted in this context. Same thought, but put in different language. Duvukshitaiर्व्याकरणं न बुध्यते विपासितैः काव्यरतो न पीयते न छन्दसा केनचिदुद्धृतं कुलम् शरण्यमेवार्जयनिष्फलात् कलाः. This man is teaching others, this Asura Bhava man is teaching others to follow his track, how he is teaching. And we are all under that sway. That is why we are behaving like this. So he says that Bubukshitair Vyakaranam na bhujyate. If you go to a person who is hungry, and you are going to teach grammar to him. Can he eat the grammar? He cannot eat the grammar. Pipasate kavya raso napiyate. One who is having thirst, suffering from thirst, he needs water. You will give him the drink of kavya rasa, the essence of poetry. Will he enjoy that? Nasandasa kenachitudhrutam kulam. Somebody wants to help his family, his lineage. He is interested in performing shraddha, etc., etc. You go and tell him Chandas. Chandas is a meter in the poetry. Like Vyakarana, like Kavyarasa, we are still in the poetry. Like grammar, like the essence of Kavya. Now it is meter which is attractive, isn't it? All the slokas are conforming to a meter. So you go and teach him that meter. Will it help him in helping him to bring up his family? Hiranyame Varjaya Nishthala Kalaha, all these arts, poetry, etc., Nishphalaha, they are useless. Hiranyameva Arjaya. Accumulate only gold means wealth. This is the advice given by these people, Asuram Bhavan. Now, why so much of literature has come out on Asuram Bhavan? Because people want, the poets want to tell us how it ensnares us. It's a snare. So you don't get into the snare. So they want to help us. That is why there is so much of literature on Asuram Bhavam. As I said, Bhagavan himself is allotting a lot of slokas for Asuram Bhavam so that we will be on our guard. Namam dushkritino mudhaha prapadyante naradhamaha mayaya pahritajnana asuram bhavamahashritaha चतुर्विधा भजन्ते माम् जनाः सुकृतिनोऽर्जुन आर्तो जिज्ञासुरर्थार्थी ज्ञानी च भरतर्षभ. Now let us forget the Asuram Bhavam people. We have talked enough about that. Now we will come back to normal people who are neither here nor there. That is the majority, isn't it? So that majority, at least sometimes, they approach Paramatma, isn't it? Like all of us do. Now Bhagavan is kind enough, compassionate enough to accept this approach of the ordinary man who is not completely detached from the world, but shows some attachment to Paramatma. That is the middle ground. So those who are in that middle ground, he is talking about them. He is saying there are four types of such people. Chaturvida bhajante mam janaha sukritinaha arjuna. For Mam bhajante, they come and worship me. Four types of people come and worship me. But for worshipping me also, you need punya to your account. This is a very important point he is making. Sukritinaha. Namam dushkritino mudhaha, he said in the last shloka. Because of dushkrita, you are getting confused, you are getting deluded, you are getting detached from Bhagavan and attached to the world. He said that. But if you have some little punya to your account, that is why always accumulate punya, always do good deeds. Keep away from evil deeds. Keep away from deeds prohibited by Shastra. Whatever Shastra recommends, keep doing that. That will get punya more and more to your account. So, supposing you tell some shlokas every day, yes, that is punya. If you go to a temple every day, that is punya. If you read a book like Bhagavad Gita every day, that is punya. So all this punya goes on accumulating. So he says, Sukritinaha, those who are having punya to their account, they come and worship me. And there are four types of such people. Because, so even for worshipping, you read Sukrita. Right in the first shloka of Saundarya Lahari, Adi Shankara makes it clear that only when you have punya, you will be able to go to Devi. He says that. Otherwise, you will not go to Devi. He says that right in the first shloka of Saundarya Lahari. That is what is being referred to here. Artho Jajnasurartharthi Jnani cha Bharatarshabha. Hey Bharatarshabha, there are these four types of these. Artaha, Jignasuhu, Artharthi, Jnani. 4 types of people come to me. Now, this is the gradation actually. Jnani is the highest, Arthaha is the lowest. Arthaha means one who is suffering because he wants to get rid, that is most of us. Because we are having some physical problem, some disease, we go to Bhagavan. Because we have some problem in the family, we want to get promotion in the office, we want our son to prosper, we want santana prapti for our son, etc. So many things. There is no end to this list. So that is artha. One who is having suffering, one who is suffering from misery, he comes to me. Tafkare Vyaghra Rogadina Abhibhutaha Apannaha. This is what Shankara explains. One who is suffering from Tafkara means robber. Vyaghra Rogadina. Robber, tiger, disease. He is giving some examples. Suffering from robbery, suffering because of fear of tiger, suffering because of disease. Such kind of people. Abhibhutaha Apannaha. They come and take refuge in me. Jignasuhu. Jignasu means one who wants to know. We talked about jnana, isn't it? Jignasu is one who wants to know, who has the desire to know. One who has a desire to know, he comes to me. He keeps reading Bhagavad Gita, he keeps listening to lectures. He wants to know more and more. So he is Jignasu. Artharthi, the third is the one who is looking for wealth. Of course, here the order is changed. After Arthaha, Artharthi should come, then Jignasu should come. But Bhagavan is putting it like this so that he gives an encouragement to Artha also you can become Jignasu. That is that encouragement. That is why he is hurrying to talk about Jignasu. Then he is going back to Artharthi, one who is looking only for wealth because he is so poor. Money is everything for him. So he comes to Bhagavan, Are, I don't have food to eat. What will I do? Please give me food. So he is Artharthi. Jnani is the highest of the Lord. He possesses jnana. He wants to come to Bhagavan, wants to come to Paramatma. He wants to develop detachment from world around him, but he is not able to do that. So he is taking the help of Bhagavan for achieving that state of detachment and attachment. So he is a jnani. So Madhusudana Saraswati gives examples because by example we can understand this better. Now he says, Artha, he is giving the example of Vrajavasi suffering from heavy rain of Indra. We know that story. How Indra continuously showered for 7 days on Vrajavasis. What did they do? They went to Krishna. And Krishna helped by lifting up the Govardhana mountain and accommodating all of them for 7 days. So they were Artha. They were finding miserable. This is an example. Gajendra caught by crocodile. This is another example. This is Artha. Now, who is Jignasu? He is giving the names of Muchukunda, Janaka, Uddhava. Now, Muchukunda and Uddhava occur in Srimad Bhagavatam. They are all great devotees of Bhagavan and they wanted to know more and more. They wanted to know more and more. Uddhava, that is why Uddhava Gita is there in chapter 11. In chapter 11 of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is Uddhava Gita. Similar to Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan is teaching Uddhava the same thoughts but in a different manner. Because Uddhava prayed to Krishna, because Krishna was going to disappear from earth. He knew that. And Krishna told Uddhava, you stay back. You stay back. Devotees like you are needed on earth. He told him. Then Uddhava said, okay, that is fine. But then you teach me something before you go so that I will develop the jnana. Then Uddhava Gita came. So when you say you teach me something, you are a Jignasu. So same with Janaka, no need to talk about Janaka, we have talked enough. Uchukunda is another character who is coming in Srimad Bhagavatam. He was also like Uddhava. praying to Bhagavan always for jnana. Who is artharthi? One who was looking for wealth. He is not giving any bad, evil person's names here, because all these people are Sukritina, isn't it? All of them are Punyashalis. We are not talking about Asaram Bhav that we have left behind. Now we have come to those who are having Punyashali. Even Punyashali needs wealth, because if you are poor, you are a Punyashali, you are a believer in Bhagavan. So you will go to Bhagavan only, isn't it? So he is giving the examples of Sugriva, Vibhishana, and Dhruva, even Dhruva, because what made Dhruva go to Bhagavan for tapas at the age of 5? What made him? Because his father did not accommodate him on his lap, whereas his brother was accommodated at the age of 5. Isn't it? So what is that? That is artha. What is that artha? Instead of wealth, it is affection. It is a place on his father's lap. That is, in fact, indirectly Rajya. Because if you are accommodating him on your lap, you are going to give the Rajya to him and you are not going to give the Rajya to me, the kingdom. So that is indirect. That is what? That is why his mother told him to go and do tapas. So what motivated him, what impelled him to do this tapas was artha only. That is why Vibhishana, similar. He wanted to become the king of Lanka. Sugriva, similarly, he was losing the power to Vali of the Vanara kingdom, so he came to Rama. So these people have come to Bhagavan for attaining certain narrow, mundane ends. So they are artharthi. Jnani. Dhruva may be a jnani later on. He became a jnani after doing tapas because of the blessing of Bhagavan. Because of the blessing of Bhagavan, what he came to him, he did not bother about it later on. Though he became a king, he didn't bother about it. Like Janaka, he became Jnanasu. Jnani. Jnani is a born jnani. We are talking about born jnani. Those who have very little prarabdha karma to their account, so they take birth. But right at birth, they are jnani, they are not having any attachment to the world. Sanakadi, Naradaha, Shukaha, these are the examples. Shuka, we know how he was detached right at birth. Right at birth, he said, I will go and do tapas. I don't care. I don't want to be here. Right at birth. Narada, same. Sanaka, same. Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, Sanatkumara, 4 people. They were the mind-born sons of Brahma at the start of creation. At the start of creation, they were the first to be born from Brahma. And Brahma told them to do Prajotpatti so that the world will grow, expand. They laughed. They said, we are not come here for Prajotpatti. We don't care. We are going to do tapas. They retired at the age of 5, like Dhruva. They retired to the forest, they did tapas, and they were born jnanis. Then Brahma had to create 11 Prajapatis for Prajotpatti purpose. Marichi, etc., etc. So we saw this right at the beginning, at the introduction of Bhagavad Gita. This was mentioned, Pravritti Marga and Nivritti Marga. Because Kanaka and others were known for Nivritti Marga, whereas Marichi and other Prajapatis were known for Pravritti Marga. So they were interested with Prajotpatti and they did it. So these 4, Sanakadi, Narada, Shuka, they are the jnanis. They were also born as human beings because they had not attained perfection. So for attaining perfection, they worked and they attained perfection. So that is why he is clubbing here in this group, even those highest level jnanis. So starting with the lowest, Artaha, one who is miserable, suffering, he wants to get out of the misery. Artharthi, he is looking for wealth, like we saw, Dhruva, Vibhishana, etc. Jignasu, those who want to know about Bhagavan. Their knowledge of Bhagavan they want to increase. And Jnani, those who know everything, they had a little bit of prarabdha karma, they want to go through that and attain moksha. So these are the four types of people. They come to me. This is how Bhagavan classifies these four. तेषां ज्ञानी नित्युक्तः एकभक्तिर्विशिष्यते प्रियो हि ज्ञानिनोत्यर्थम् अहं स च मम प्रियः. See how what a glowing terms he is using for the jnani. Out of the four, he mentioned four. Then he is recommending jnani to all of us. You also become a jnani. That is the recommendation. So he says, Tesham jnani nityayuktah ekabhaktirvihishyate priyo hi jnaninotyartham aham sacha mama priyaha. Tesham, out of the four whom I have mentioned, jnani is the best. Jnani vishishyate is most special. Why? Nityayuktah ekabhaktihi. He is giving two reasons why he is most special, which doesn't apply to the other three. Nityayukta, ever attached to me. The others are not attached entirely to me, not in entirety, though they come to me. They are attached to wealth, they are attached to misery, getting rid of misery, they are attached to getting jnana, they are still not got jnana. So they are in a different category. Whereas this jnani, because he has attained jnana, he knows the importance of getting attached to Bhagavan. So he is Nityayuktaha, ever attached. Eka Bhakti, he does not distract his attention among many things. That is called Eka Bhakti. Attachment to only one, that is Paramatma. Attachment to something else, then it is not Eka Bhakti. So he says, Tattvitvat Nityayuktaha, because he knows the truth. Because of his knowledge of truth, he is Nityayuktaha. He is ever attached to me. Eka Bhakti, Anyasya Bhajaniyasya Adarshanath. He does not see any other entity who deserves his attention, who deserves his worship. Anyasya Bhajaniyasya Adarshanath. Because he doesn't recognize any other activity, any other entity deserving of his attention, deserving of his worship. So he comes with Eka Bhakti to me. Vishesham Adhikyam Apadyate Atirichyate. He is very special. Vishishyate. Vishishyate. Very special. He is very special to me. Vishesham Adhikyam Apadyate. His rank is much higher than everyone else. Atirichyate. He is very special. He surpasses everyone else. Atirichyate. Priyo hi jnaninotyartham aham sacha mama priyaha. He is not satisfied with his praise of jnani. He is continuing. He says, Aham atyartham priyaha jnaninaha. For the jnani, I am very much loved. Atyartham. He doesn't use the term atyartham. Nobody uses the term atyartham normally. That too, Bhagavan, how will he use? For an ordinary human being. He is using the term. Atyartham priyaha. I am very much loved by him. I am his lover. Very much. Highest degree. Aham sacha mama priyaha. Okay. He loves me to that extent. Do I love him? Yes. Aham sacha mama priyaha. Sacha mama priyaha. He is also equally loved by me. He loves me and I love him. What greater tribute is required for it now? Priyaha hi asmad aham atma jnaninaha. Why he loves me so much? Shankara explains. Because Veda says, Upanishad says that one's Atma is the most beloved for him. This is the theory of the Upanishad. We mentioned it earlier. That is why we love everything around us, because we see our Atma in them. We see our Atma in our relatives. We see our Atma in our friends. That is why we love them. That is the theory. So he says, Atma is the greatest receptacle of love. So, and he finds Atma is Bhagavan because he has got that jnana. Ataha tasya aham atyartham priyaha prasiddham hi loke atma priyaha bhavati iti. He is quoting from Upanishad. Atma priyaha bhavati. Tasmad jnaninaha atmatvad. Because jnani recognizes Atma. We don't recognize. We talk about Atma, we don't recognize. We don't have that love for Atma. He says, jnaninaha atmatvat Vasudevaha priyaha bhavati. That is why Vasudeva is the most beloved for him. Sakajnani mama Vasudevasya Atma eva bhavati mama atyartham priyaha. Why I love him? Because he is also my Atma. Because I am his Atma, he loves me. And he is my Atma. Look at that. Now Jnani becomes the Atma of Bhagavan. He is taking Jnani to that level. Because he is my Atma, I love him. The Atma is loved by everyone. That is the theory. So that is how he is. Shankara explains it very nicely. चतुर्विधा भजन्ते मां जनाः सुकृतिनोऽर्जुन आर्तो जिज्ञासुरर्थार्थी ज्ञानी च भरतर्षभ तेषां ज्ञानी नित्ययुक्तः एकभक्तिर्विशिष्यते प्रियो हि ज्ञानिनोत्यर्थम् अहं स च मम प्रियः उदाराः सर्व एवैते ज्ञाने त्वात्मैव मे मतम् आस्थितः स हि युक्तात्मा मामेवानुत्तमां गतिम्. Now, having praised the Jnani, he does not want to discourage ordinary persons, that is Bhagavan, because of compassion. He comes down to ordinary level. He says, Sarva evete udaraha. I mentioned 4 categories. They're all good. Don't think because I am praising Jnani that they are not good. No, they are all good. They are all noble. Udara means noble. They are all noble. He uses the term noble for even arthaha, artharthi. Udara sarva evete. All these. Ete sarve. All this. Udaraha eva. They are all noble only. Jnane tvatmaiva me matam. Why then I praise the Jnani? Because he is my Atma. Jnane tu Atmaiva me matam. He is my Atma. That is my opinion. Since he is my Atma, I praise him. He is the highest. But all of them are noble. They will come to me eventually. That is the meaning. Asthita sahi yuktatma mahameva anuttamam gatim. Now he is praising Jnani further. Why Jnani is superior to others. Asthitaha sahi yuktatma. Asthitaha arodham pravrittaha. That means he is intent on going up, upper on the ladder. To upper and upper level. That is arodham. Arodham pravrittaha. His natural tendency is to go up the ladder of jnana. Asthitaha. Sahi yuktatma. He is ever attached to his atma. We saw that earlier also. Eka bhakti and yuktaha we saw. So he is saying the same thing here again. नहि कश्चित् मद्भक्तः मम वासुदेवस्य अप्रियः भवति. Adi Shankara explains it in more explicit terms. Udara eva sarvaite. He says, all are my bhaktas. Why will I distinguish between them? Mad bhakta. All the 4 are my bhaktas. Nobody is apriya for me. Nobody, I'm not going to hate anyone. They're all good for me. But Jnani is the biggest. Why? Jnani tu atma eva, na anyaha mattaha yati me tam. He is my atma. That is why. Asthitaha arodham pravrittaha. He is ever intent on going up the ladder of jnana. Yasmat ahameva bhagavan vasudevaha na anyaha asmi ityevam yuktatma. What is yuktatma? I am that Vasudeva. I am not anything else. He is ever convinced. His conviction. He doesn't look for Vasudeva anywhere else, outside, in a picture, in a vigraha. That is the ordinary state. He looks at himself, his own Atma is Vasudeva. Ahameva Bhagavan Vasudeva. Na anyaha asmi. I am not anything other than Bhagavan Vasudeva. That is why he is called Yuktatma. Samahita chittaha, ever concentrated that way. Mameva anuttamam gatim gacchati. Mameva, he attains me only. That is Parabrahman. Parambrahma Gantavyam, that is the final destination. Gantavyam. Anuttamam Gatim, that is the final destination. Anuttamam means something which is not surpassed, unsurpassed, highest. That state he is going to get because he is Yuktatma. Asthitaha sahi Yuktatma mameva anuttamam gatim. Richati is going without mentioning. That means he attains that state. Udara sarvaye vede jnane twatmaiva me matam asthita sahayuktatma mamevanuttamam gatim bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabhaha. Earlier also he mentioned only one among many thousands attains the state. He mentioned that. Now he is mentioning that again. This is not for discouraging us, this is for telling us that we should not get rejected in our sadhana. Because everything we do is one step ahead. Whatever we do in this path is one step ahead. There is no doubt about that. On that, there is no doubt. But we need many more steps, so it takes more time. So don't get rejected. Bahunam janmanam ante, at the end of several janmas, jnanavan mam prapadyate, jnanavan attains me. Because he said, isn't it, jnani? Now, jnani and jnanavan, he makes a slight distinction here. Jnanavan is possessing jnana, but he has not become jnani. That means, well, he is having other distractions even now, even after attaining jnana. He is not yuktatma. Yuktatma means ever attached to Atma. But this man is not ever attached. He is having jnana. He is having that attachment. He knows this is the destination. He is taking baby steps. So he says, Jnanavan mam prapadyate. No doubt he attains me, but at the end of several janmas. Jnanavan prapta paripaka jnanaha. He has got maturity of jnana. That is why he is jnanavan. But still, maturity is not full. Mam Vasudevam Pratyagatmanam Pratyakshataha Prapadyate. At the end of this journey, he finds that Vasudeva is sitting in him, Pratyagat. He doesn't have to look out anywhere else. Pratyakshataha Prapadyate. Pratyaksha, direct sakshatkara, direct perception of the Atma. Then he comes to me. So that is the final stage. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. Vasudeva Sarvam. Everything is Vasudeva. There is nothing other than Vasudeva. That is the conviction he has to attain. Then once he attains that conviction, he is the Mahatma. Who is the Mahatma? A Mahatma is one who sees Atma everywhere. All creation is Bhagavan. That is Mahatma. That is the definition of Mahatma. So all creation is Atma, and Vasudeva is sitting inside me as my own Atma. Vasudeva Sarvam, all around me is also Vasudeva. So he is Mahatma. Sudurlabha, this kind of person is difficult to get, rare. Durlabha is rare, Sudurlabha is even more rare. Rarest, this kind of jnani. So he says, it will take time. Don't be in a hurry. Bahunam janmanam jnanartha samskarashayanam. That is, in every janma you make some advancement. Jnanartha samskara ashraya. You are doing some samskara, some purification in this process of attaining jnana. Vasudeva, he uses the term Vasudeva here. Why? Vasudeva Sarvam. Vasudeva, by definition, what is the meaning of Vasudeva? Vasudeva means one who is present everywhere. That is the meaning of Vasudeva. Not son of Vasudeva. That is the second meaning, not important. The most important meaning is Vasanat Vasudevasya Vasidam Bhuvanatrayam Sarvabhuta Nivasosi Vasudeva Namostute. We say, isn't it? At the end of Vishnu Sahasranama. That is the meaning. Vasanat Vasudevasya Vasitam Bhuvanatrayam. All the three worlds, the entire creation is pervaded by you. That is why you are known as Vasudeva. Vasanat Vasudevasya Vasitam Bhuvanatrayam Sarvabhuta Nivasosi. You are living in every living being. That is why you are known as Vasudeva. To that Vasudeva I prostrate, we say, at the end of Vishnu Sahasranama. So that is the sense which this man has got. Sa Mahatma, that is why he is Mahatma, he is Durlabha, difficult, rare person. This Vasudeva Sarvam comes from Chandogya Upanishad, this phrase. Vacharambhanam vikaraha namadevam mrittiketyeva satyam. This is Vasudeva Sarva. This is the meaning of Vasudeva Sarva. What is that? Whatever you see around you, they are all having names. There is a table in front of me. There is a chair in front of me. There is a vigraha in front of me. They are all names. Table, chair, vigraha. They are all names. Vacharambhanam vikaraha. They are all mere names, mere words. Namadeyam mritiketyeva satyam. What is truth? Truth is what it is made of. Now, because Upanishad talks about the example of pots made of mud, that was the context in which the statement is made. So, Mritika is mud. Mud only is the truth, and all the pots made of different sizes, different shapes, they are all having different names. One is called a pot, another is called a jar, another is called something else, kamandalu, but all are made of the same mritika, same mud, same clay. So what is the truth? Truth is mritika. Mritika etyeva satyam. All others are mere words. Vacharam bhadam vikara. This is the truth. Vasudeva sarvam. This truth he recognizes. In other words, he recognizes Paramatma behind the entire creation. The same truth is being taught to us in different ways so that we don't lose sight of the goal. उदारा सर्व एवैते ज्ञानी त्वात्मैव मे मतम् आस्थितस्थ हि युक्तात्मा मामेवानुत्तमां गतिम् बहूनां जन्मनामन्ते ज्ञानवान् मां पद्यते वासुदेवः सर्वमिति स महात्मा सुदुर्लभः. We close for the day. We meet again next Saturday at 7:30 p.m. IST. Any questions?
Those who have questions, please unmute yourself, turn on your video and ask questions. Any questions, anybody? Any questions? No questions.
No questions. Okay. We close for the day. We meet again next Saturday, 7:30 p.m. IST. Namah Parvati Pataye Hara Hara Mahadeva Sarvatra Govinda Nama Sankirtanam Govinda Govinda Shri Raja Rajeshwarye Jaya Jaya.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We'll meet again next week.
Thank you.